How are you doing? Woo! Hi. Yeah, we feel you.
Church in the morning makes me tired too.
Should we introduce ourselves and tell everyone who we are? We don't know who you are.
I'll start since I'm the least important one here. In the show, in the context of the show, I'm clearly the most important person here. But I mean for the show. My name's Jerry Jewell and I play the part of Lau.
I'm Brina Palencia and I play Ciel Phantom Hive.
And I'm playing the He's clapping. Michael Tatum and I play Sebastian Michaelos. Just cracked my glasses. I love you.
I love you more!
Your drummer does not love you. But the rest of it does. That sounded weird. Hi! So thanks for coming to, I don't know, Black Butler?
Yeah, it's Black Butler.
This is where we talk about Black Butler. Right? You ask us questions and we say stuff.
Hello. So, Jerry, why don't you tell us about your experience on the show?
Well, it started a very long time ago as a young man in Oklahoma. I'm kidding. I was born in McAlester, Oklahoma. Why? No, I'm just kidding. I know the feeling. Same reason I was born in McAlester. Home of the Oklahoma State Penitentiary, in case you don't know. It's a great place to visit. It's a great place to visit.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. Great place to go, you don't want to stay. No, Black Butler. Originally, I thought that it was an anime retelling of Benson. You're too young to know what that is. Some of them got it, and that's really all that matters. No, my experience was going in, it's the thing I remember most about Black Butler, actually, is that's where I met Ian for the first time. Yeah, that was the first time I had ever met Ian Sinclair, who directed the show. And he was great because he made me feel really good, like overly good, more good than I should, more good than, you know what I mean, more gooder than I should have felt. Because it's Ian, so he was so excited about, he's like an adolescent puppy, is what he is. He's like all lanky, oh, that was great, that was great.
He's like a lab.
Yeah, he's like a lab. But basically, my experience was I was to play the part of this dude who was, I guess opium was his thing, right? And so I had to research as much as I could what people acted like when they were under the influence of illicit substances, because I had never done that sort of thing before. So I watched lots of films, and I, learnned how to sound as if I knew how to be high. I think that's how the kids say it, high. The rest I just used my acting skill. That was my experience.
Should we do ours?
Do it.
Yeah. Ours is
We're sitting here to watch it.
I don't know how to knit. No. I guess I'll talk about the show. Well, whenever I had seen art from Black Butler before, and I thought, I don't know, it's not a super popular show, I don't think. Did anyone here ever see Nabari no O?
Woo!
One person. Well, I thought because Miharu and Ciel look so much alike. I thought that the artwork that I had been seeing was fan art of Nabari no O. And when I found out that it was a completely different show, I was like, oh, I definitely want to audition for that boy. Because he looks just like Miharu. And Colleen is actually who cast it initially and did the first, I think, like 8 episodes maybe? Yeah, something like that. And she told me about the audition ahead of time or whatever and was like, hey, work on your English accent. And she said, I want you to do Miharu with an English accent. And I was like, okay. And so I watched a lot of Jane Austen films on the BBC, and I just repeated everything that I heard, and that's basically how I learned the accent. And then I started to get into it, and I started to watch the show as we were recording, and now I actually, pretty much always, with the exception of Book of Atlantic, I watch everything ahead of time so that I can prepare, because that, I don't know about you, but I know for me, because Ciel is has so much emotional depth, and there's so many things at play, it's a lot to keep track of when you're also trying to do the accent. And so I try to be emotionally prepared and have all that built up and all that prepared, so that when I'm in the booth, the only thing I really need to think about is the accent. Because it's hard to do both. So that's, of all the shows that I've ever done, that's the one that I do the most preparation for. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you asking me to talk like Ciel? Absolutely not. I
Colleen approached me too when the show was going into auditions, and she's like, "Hey, I want you to read for Sebastian. So you know that accent we're constantly having to direct you out of?
Yes.
Now you get to just use it. So just come in, because I fall in English Brit.
He does, like constantly. Whenever I directed him in Black Brothers, my most consistent note, yeah, the one other person. I was like, too British. You're not British. It's not a British character. Why do you sound British? Why do you sound British?
It's
Why do you sound
weekend,
British?
not weekend. So, and I learned how British accent comes very easily to me because I had a speech impediment when I was a kid. I was raised in Texas, and my whole family sounds like very Texan.
Where everyone has a speech impediment.
But I really bad speech impediment, and even though my mom and dad and my brother all sound like they're from Texas, you know, they got that Texas drawl. They all have a different Texas accent too. My dad's got the real Sherman, like Cedar Belt, sort of East Texas accent. My mother has the Texas housewife Houston accent. It's just over enunciated. So because they don't want you to confuse them with those East Texas people. It's kinda. And she also was raised by my grandmother, who was from Georgia. And so I was the only one in my family that I couldn't really speak very well, and at all actually. So I had a speech therapist who was British, and so I literally learned how to speak from a British lady whose name was Mrs. Britt. Pretty sure she was a con artist, but she was really good at doing it. I mean, I had her for 5 years, and she's who got me into theater and everything. So I learned how to speak British, or just learned how to speak, period, by doing the accent, which was weird. So a couple of years ago, Brandon and I, my partner, went to England, to Yorkshire, for a convention, specifically for Black Butler. And there is nothing weirder than having a bunch of British people go, do the accent. Please do the accent. I'm like, you're doing it right now. I don't understand. And then I go, there it is, oh, thank God. Like,
that happened to me in Birmingham too, when I went to Birmingham. It's just like, I'm just making fun of you, really.
This is just my judgment of you. But it was really funny. So I didn't know how popular the show was going to be. Like, I just knew it was a show. I wanted to try it for. It looked really fun, and I liked the premise. And I tried out for it. Felt pretty good about the audition, but then forgot about it because I always forget when I audition. I just put it out of my mind because I know I'm probably not going to get it. So whatever. Then I was at a con that weekend in Ohio when Colleen called me to say, hey, you're going to be Sebastian. Congratulations. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Thanks. And I still no idea.
Please, last time I checked, C-Dog BA was the role of Sebastian.
Get out.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. The one who's imitating me? Yeah. Yeah. He's got a nicer ass than I do. But that's not fair. He's not having put any work into it. That's just how he talks. Anyway, so I was at a convention and Colleen calls me to say, hey, congratulations, you're going to be Sebastian. We'll start recording in a week or two. I'm like, oh, that's cool. No idea. And I round the corner and there were fans who were like, hi. This is going to be really weird, but can you sign this Black Butler wall scroll? Because we're just so confident that you're going to be this character. And I'm like, sure, I mean, I guess I'll sign it. Their lips to get out tears. And I put like a big old question mark after my name, and I was like, I can't tell them, I just got news. So, and my first experience of realizing how like hugely popular the show was going to be was at, I guess it was the first couple episodes were being premiered at a big convention in Baltimore, Oddcon. And so they had us do a Black Butler signing, and it was this huge, like, people just flocked, and I was like, cool, signing away, and there was this little girl. I have to drop the F-bomb for this story, because it's just too good, so forgive me, but you're Black Butler fans, you're adults. Or you're about to be. And this little girl came through with her mom.
Cover your ears, baby!
That baby probably knows more words than I do. Kids these days. So I'm sitting there signing for this little girl, and she had the cutest, she was like 8 years old, maybe 8 years old, and she had this tiny little voice, and her mother was this tall, beautiful woman standing behind her going, thank you so much for doing this, really. And I was like, oh no, my pleasure, and I'm signing, and she had this whole thing she wanted me to write out. So she's talking to me, and this voice like, oh my god, I'm so really happy that you're Sebastian. It's the best thing, like my favorite in the whole world, and I knew it was going to be you, and I'm really, really, really excited that it's going to be you, because Sebastian's my favorite character, and like Black Butler's my favorite show in the world, Sebastian's my favorite character, and you're my favorite voice actor. I knew, did I mention it's my favorite show, and that you're my favorite character? And then all of a sudden, she just kept on going, and I'm like, yeah, thank you so much. She was like, yeah, it's my favorite thing in the world. You better not fuck it up. I stopped mid-signing to look up at her mom, and her mom was like, I will try not to do that, thank you. That's been my life with Sebastian ever since.
Stop ruining the baby's innocence.
Go watch a Sea-Dog video. If they stop taking them down.
So, before this gets violent, I think this mic is there for people to ask questions. Oh, you upset the baby.
Was it the word fuck? Now they're gonna go watch this video now. They're like, oh, that's a good idea.
Like, we'd much rather do that. So I guess it's sort of a weird place to line up since it's in front of a bunch of people, so maybe don't line up.
Yeah, the acoustics
Or maybe,
in there pretty good. You can
yeah,
just
or you could just
We could yell from here.
yeah, just scream really loud.
So who's got a question? Who wants to pick one? Do you want to pick?
No, I hate picking.
Jerry, right over there. Yes, you. Stand up.
Have any of you actually seen Book of the Atlantic? And if so, how do you feel about Undertaker's eyes?
We recorded it.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
out.
it's out.
It's out.
Go buy it.
Yeah, go buy it. So we've seen it. We love it. Book of Atlantic. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can pre-order it.
Yeah, I mean, it's out to purchase.
Yeah,
but we've
and
already,
but
it actually had
we-
a run in theaters.
Yeah, it was in theaters for a while.
No, we're not that smart.
But go pre-order it on Funimation.
Yes.
And I don't want to say anything about his eyes because it's a spoiler.
Yeah,
So
I have feelings about it. That's all I'll say.
I will say, since we've already cussed a lot, that my reaction when we were recording was, oh shit!
I love when we have those. Yes, you there in the front with the cat ears and the red hair.
I have a request for Sebastian.
A request?
A request.
Or an order?
Well, I'm not Ciel. I'm Grell.
Grell doesn't. Sebastian doesn't do Grell requests. You have to order, or you have to convince CL to order me to do it.
Tell
All
me
right.
what it is, I'll decide.
All right, fine. Sebastian, I absolutely order you to read us an excerpt from The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe.
Like I'm just supposed to know?
I have the book.
Bitch, sit down, I got this. Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered weak and weary over a many quaint and curious volumes of forgotten lore. While I nodded, nearly napping, there suddenly came a rapping, as of suddenly someone gently tapping on my chamber door. Oh, how distinctly I remember it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember rocked its ghost upon the floor, and more stuff.
That was amazing. I never want to pick.
I never want to pick you.
I hate it. No.
Over there.
Our most favorite than our least favorite? Yes. Who's your least favorite? Don't answer! Yeah. Smart. We don't have least favorites really, because I mean we're actors and our job is to really love the characters we're in, and I'm like, and also it's like it's an imaginative job, and if I feel like if there's not something to love about the character whose life I'm in right now, then I'm not doing my job.
Yeah. So my least favorite character. Well, this was actually a really great learning thing for me because it was one of my first roles. It was Kaoru in Moon Phase. And whenever I did the role, I hated it because she was really whiny, and I don't like whiny characters. But then I directed Moon Phase, and when I saw her in the context of the show, I was like, oh, I get it now. I'm a part of the whole. It doesn't matter what I think. This show is awesome, and Kaoru fits within the parameters of this show. And not the entire show isn't this. So ever since then, there hasn't really been a character that I'm just like, ugh. There are characters that I forget that I did. So I guess you could say those are my least favorite because I don't care about them. But my favorite is Ciel. I love Ciel.
We're still answering the question.
I see you have no interest in what I feel about my characters, and this is what I was saying at the very beginning. I knew this was going to happen. It was only a matter of time until you all turned on me, and it was all of you. You all did it together. I want you to go home and question what kind of people you are, down deep inside. Oh, it's a little too late now. It's a little too late.
It's like the Valentine's episode of Charlie Brown. Yeah, give him your used Valentine's the day after.
This, you know, I have been trying. Ed Sheeran and I have been trying to make people accept redheads into normal society, and you're just not ready. You're not ready. You know what? You know what? You guys don't deserve my answer.
This panel is getting really awkward, guys.
I love it. I love it. All right, it's you in the second row. You look like you have a perfectly innocent question that isn't going to break out into a fight.
I'll try. Are you planning to make any more collaborative videos with C-Dog anytime soon? Yes.
Yeah, I like him. He's a really cool dude. Connor and I met a couple of years ago in England, and we just, like, we got along, and I think he's super funny. Like, he's really, his whole philosophy of, like, what he does, and his whole approach to humor is just, he's so brilliantly clever and impromptu and everything that I love watching him work. The interview video that he and I did, where he plays, like, a really awkward interviewer, he was like, here are the basic bullet points we're going to do, but you just want to improv through this, and I'm going to be super awkward. And he's not awkward at all. He's extremely, in real life, very polished and very like, okay, there you go. And very down to earth, but he just comes in sweating bullets. I didn't know that, I wasn't expecting that. He's sweating like the clothes are stuck to his body. And he's like shaking with this pad of paper, and he'd like ask me a question, like you'd be me for a moment. So it's really nice to be. So can you tell me about your experience on Black Butler?
Oh, well, yes.
Who's your favorite YouTuber? Like, it just, like, stuff like that all the time, and it got more and more awkward. I was like, I was loving the hell out of this, and it was so awkward and so beautiful, all of it, like, totally acted, that when it was done, and we were having drinks later and talking about this, I'm like, oh my god, Brandon's mom is going to watch this and think something really awful happened. And we made that joke over drinks, and he was like, I would be really, really thrilled if she hated it. Months later when it came out, she called Brandon, sweetie, have you seen that video with Michael? Who is that guy? I don't like that. Who do we need to talk to never put him in that situation? I'm like, Hey, Connor. She hated it. She's like, I'm so bad at this.
You had to put the Oreos in your ass, Michael. It's a reference.
You need to calm down, because they don't all know that. The Oreos in my ass were between me and Connor. That was us. That belonged to you. You get your own Oreos.
You in the front row.
How do you feel about the corset?
It's gross, but also funny. But gross.
Yeah, my response when we were recording was just like, man, and then like it turned into like a joke, and then I was like, oh, that's clever.
Do I?
Do I?
Right there.
One thing, your mic is really low. I don't know some people are.
Is that my max? Is that my good pop?
Yeah, that was a little louder.
We'll just share it.
Come closer, Michael.
Oh, that's... So is this better? Is it? Oh yeah, that is much louder. Thank you.
Yeah.
All of the mics.
Every single line of like I
We got a tech guy here, yeah.
Ah, thank you. Oh, that's better. Yeah, is that better?
Yeah.
Better? Can you hear me back? Ah, yay. Okay, cool. So, yes.
Question. Have any of you ever considered cosplaying as your characters? Like Sebastian? Because I think that would be extremely cool.
Yeah, I kind of like did a half-ass version of it at what convention was that? Shootokan, yeah. And Monica Rial actually has a full-on Mayrin cosplay. Because here's my thing, I don't know how to sew, and I also don't want to spend a lot of money on it. But yeah, if we ever do like another Black Butler reunion thing, I might splurge.
I would splurge. I would do it.
I'd want to do, oh, you know what? I love his outfit in Book of Atlantic. I think he's so cute. The whole time I was watching it, I was like, look at you, Precious. You're so cute. Taylor, you're so cute. Because Lizzie dressed him, so he like legitimately looks really cute.
do it.
Yeah, I prefer his tutor outfit, like his dance instructor, because he's wearing glasses, so I'm like, yay. I can't get away from my characters wearing glasses. All of them wear glasses at some point.
That would be cultural appropriation.
It turns out that conventions severely frown upon opium on the premises. So I tried it once, did not work well. I shall not try it again in the United States.
I want to take the person away in the back. Yes, with the TV head. Oh God!
Change the channel.
Wait, say it again.
Your favorite insults of each other.
Insults of each other?
Like in character or just in person?
Everybody in person, so let's go in character.
This is a tough room, you guys. Does Sebastian ever, like, I can't think, no, I wouldn't. That's like, what? Waltzing.
Oh yeah, my waltzing's not great.
Yeah, but I wasn't insulting you.
You
I was just...
disgust me in your cat-loving face.
Would you like me to tie your shoes now?
And Lau, wake up!
Did I ever insult anybody?
No, but if you were going to, as Lau, it would be.
First of all, I would like to say, what's your name again?
Let's see. You, first row, who comes with Mike?
If you could each of you name a character that you didn't get because, either it was done years before or you just didn't get the role. Like, a character from a past anime who you think you could do a really good job with, who would have liked to have done.
All of them. Every character in anime. It was before my time, but I would love to have been involved in Cowboy Bebop in some way.
Woo!
That's one of the best shows ever and one of the best dubs, in my opinion. It like created the standard for a modern dub. Also, there's a character called Blackjack that's kind of old school. And it's one of my favorite guys. We should hang out more. But I would love to play that character at some point in my life. If that's a right, kid? Blackjack fan.
There's an anime, it's one of the, yes. Hi. 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 What was the question? So the only manga that I've ever read was Nodame Cantabile. I heard that they did an anime, but I don't know if they ever did a dub. But I love. Oh, they did? I just really, really, really love that story. I went to music school, so it's like it's just great. My instrument was voice. Yeah. Woo! And so that would have been dope. I also really love Fujiko Mine and Lupin the Third. I also just love the woman called Fujiko Mine, which is primarily why I love her. And when that show was happening, I got to help assistant direct, and I was like so jealous. I was like, oh man, I wish I could play that part. It's not the type of part that I typically play either. So even if I was around when they were casting it, the likelihood of me being cast is probably 0. But it's such a cool part. But yeah, also all of them.
I'll agree with all of them for sure. The character that Vic played in Free, yeah, that guy. The first time I saw any of that, I was like, ooh, I'd love to be that guy. But I wasn't. So there's that.
Connor just roasted you on Twitter. It's okay. He needs to go a burn on my.
Hey, get your own panel, please. You're killing us. Thank you. That's awesome. You can roast me somewhere else. Jerry is talking, and he would like to finish a sentence.
Do you see how this keeps happening?
You guys are gonna make him walk out.
I'm sensing a pattern here. So yeah, I would like to have played that guy, and probably some others that you would have all enjoyed very much.
I also wish I could have played Vegeta.
Oh, no, I think that's a fair answer. I think a lot of us wish that we had been around when Dragon Ball Z was going on, because Sonny Strait can go pretty much anywhere and be like, I was Krillin, and everyone's like, yeah! It doesn't matter how long ago it was, that show has been such a big part of so many people's lives. We all wish for shows like that.
Except the baby, he hates
The
Krillin.
baby hates Krillin. Which is weird, because they've got the same hairstyle. Okay, you. Oh. How did I know? A what? Oh, yes.
You have siblings?
Are we siblings?
That is inappropriate.
I figured that, like, she was the hot girl and he was the supplier, which is how he got the hot girl. And she protected him because that's her supplier. That's kind of how I thought that
went.
went.
In the anime that they're siblings? How do I not remember that?
I think it is a little I mean, there's friendly sitting in laps, and then there's more than friendly sitting in laps.
Sitting in laps as adults is like...
Weird?
Yeah.
It's weird.
Unless it's a significant other.
Right.
It's weird when it's a sibling.
Weird when it's, just so you guys know, this is the time to end those awkward relationships with your siblings. Or you can move to Kentucky. It's your choice, completely your choice. And I've just been uninvited to every convention in Kentucky. Both of them.
you just had a heart attack. You're like, oh, he picked me, God!
What is your favorite line from Black Butler?
All right, close your ears, because they're going to scream.
Close your ears.
Well, after all, I'm simply one hell of a deer.
Expect that I saw it coming.
I will never let go of my hatred.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, goodness. Back there. Yes, you. Woo! I have no idea. That's how in character I was during the recording process. It's all a blur. Because I tried to set myself up mentally as being, again, under the influence. And so I acted it so well that I actually was high. I was acting it, but yeah, acting.
Can you do a rendition?
Second row.
Your first row. We'll get there.
So, when you first started off with Black Butler, did you think it was going to be as big as it is now? And what was your reaction when you realized that the anime blew up?
I had no idea it was going to be as big as it was, and I'm still getting used to it. Which is awesome. I mean, we love all the love it gets. I mean, it's really cool that the show's like 8 years old, 7 years old like now, and it's unusual for actors to be involved, for a show to have that kind of staying power, because I mean, like most of the time a show will come and go in a couple of years, people moved on, but Black Butler is still around and people love it and more stuff is coming out, so it's also fun to get to reprise a role that you have a relationship to. Most of the time we get one season and then that's it, we never see that character again, but with all our characters from Black Butler, it's been going on for years now, so it's really fun. Yeah, I love how big it's gotten, because it's really funny, and I don't know if this is your experience, but my peripheral vision has gotten keyed into certain color schemes when I'm at a con, so I'm like, blue, that's a CL. Right, and I like, there's the Grell red, and there's the CL blue, and the CL pink, and then there's a certain black, and I'm like, yep, there's cosplayers, keep walking, keep walking. Can I tell this really quick story before we move on? Okay, so I didn't know how big the show was until about 6 years ago. I lived in a house on the outskirts of Dallas, in a suburb, and we used to hand out candy to trick-or-treaters on Halloween. And I didn't think anything of it. Like, the doors would open and it'd be kids. Like, oh, take a candy bar or whatever. And about 9 o'clock at night, when the traffic starts winding down a little bit, the doorbell rings, and I grab the bowl of candy, and I open the door to a CL and Sebastian cosplay. And have I never told you that? I have never been more terrified in my life. It was my first thought. I was like Doc Brown in that mall parking lot scene, and like, oh God, they found me. I just couldn't even deal. And I was just like, I open the door and I see them, and it's like teenagers, and they look amazing. They put a lot of work in their cosplay, and they're dead on. And I'm just like, and they go trick or treat, and I'm like, what do I do?
Did you use your dad's voice?
I used my dad voice, and I was like, well, y'all sure do look adorable. Who y'all supposed to be? They had no clue. And what's more is because I pretended not to know what Black Butler was like, I'm CL Phantomheim, and this is Sebastian Michaelis from Black Butler. I'm like, well, that sure does sound cool. I've never seen it, no idea. Y'all just take the rest of the bowl, and I just poured it all on it. Happy Halloween, and off they go, and I close the door, and I was like, I have never given candy out on Halloween again. And somewhere is somebody that's come to my house in cosplay and had no idea.
Tatum, I have something to reveal to you.
No.
It was me the whole time. I'm just kidding, it wasn't. I love that it's
Your
not.
stunt happened after that. And that's why I thought, oh God, they did know. You'd have broken into my house once and rearranged my furniture and didn't tell me for like hours. Let me think it was like a crazed fan, and I was like, they know where I live. They were here on Halloween.
That makes so much more sense that you freaked out like a crazy person. For me, breaking into your house, it's a big deal. I love that it's really popular because all of us worked really hard on that show, and it's just, it means a lot to a lot of us that it matters to you guys as much as it matters to us. So, thank you.
Well, we should pick this guy because he.
Can you do your best rendition of Vegeta?
Best rendition of Vegeta?
Kakarot!
Over 9,000?
No. Leave that to the professionals.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. I was curious, as much as I've loved everything that's happened so far, are there perhaps plans to animate more, perhaps the Weston College arc? I hope.
So, we have no idea. We're actors. We're the last people to know. Like every time it's come down the wire, they're like, "Hey, so there's more Black Butler. Can you come in tomorrow?"
The only reason I knew
"There
Book of
is?"
Atlantic existed was because someone tweeted at me. And I was just like, oh. And then like months later, we got called in to record.
Well, it would be. I'm hoping.
Yeah, us too.
Us too. We love the work and we love the show. So yeah, hopefully. I mean, I think that show's gonna keep going for a long time. It's super popular, and they know it's popular, so they'd be stupid to just stop it.
Come on, guys, get it together.
Get it together.
So do you just have to tweet at you and then boom, we get another arc?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's what that meant.
Tweet it Funimation.
I'll pick CL.
Wait, can I stop? Are you the CL that followed her in thinking that, and you didn't realize that
It was the cutest thing ever. She came in because she thought that it was like, oh, we're all going in now. And then she saw me and Tatum and goes, oh. It was awesome. You look great, by the way.
Halfway through season 1, the story changes from the novel. And then it goes to season 2 with Abby and Paul.
Yeah.
And then it's season 3 with the actual continuing of the real story. That can confuse you in any way.
Yes. 100%.
all the time. What the hell is going on? I still think of season 2 as just a dream, a fever dream.
No, it feels that way to me. When people talk to me about things that happened in season 2, I'm like, that happened? I'm like, what? And I have this weird hazy memory of it, and I'm like, maybe.
I definitely adopted Jerry's method during season 2. Yeah, I think everyone was like, did that actually happen? Was that a real show?
It was basically just like they animated a fanfic, essentially. All CLs.
So I have a few requests.
A few. Can we whittle it down to maybe 1 or 2?
Yeah,
Okay.
so
She's not good.
Sebastian, can you do the 2 most popular lines?
Yeah, that's why they hired me.
Yeah, can you do the once something's been truly lost, one can never get it back again?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Once something's been truly lost, you can never get it back. Get it back.
Wow, thanks for
You'll never
bringing
get
it
it back. Bats are evil. Don't trust them. They suck your blood, and then you die. I hate bats and cats. I'm just kidding, guys. I love cats. What's the line? Once something is truly lost, you can never get it back again.
Perfect.
Wait, let me try for real. Once something is truly lost, you can never get it back again. I get paid to do this, guys.
Can pay you? So, well, after all, I'm simply one hell of a butler. Jesus.
The baby's like, yeah.
And the other one is, yes, my lord. You do realize that he's a demon that wants to eat your soul. That relationship is not going to end well for you. He is the definition of that bad guy. Like the one that your parents are warning you about.
And also the one that everyone always ends up dating, let's be real.
Right? I mean, I did. Ew. I mean, I love you, but I don't love you. You're my master, right? It doesn't work like that. A butler has to be a butler. I'll take Grell. Because Sebastian loves redheads. Yeah, I don't like redheads, really. Redheads are amazing, guys. Thank you.
I have a question for you. Can I just say, Jerry Jules, Opium Den would be an awesome panel name. Yeah, that is
It's an awesome place. Yes.
And what's it like being, you know, like the character that seems to know everything but actually knows nothing?
It's true. It's true. It's one of the, I think that's why he's interesting at all, is you're never really sure which Lau you're getting, you know? One minute it's like, oh, he's got a lot going on here. He's very secretive, and he obviously oh, wait, never mind. Never mind. He was just talking. He had a brief moment of lucidity. But I don't know, the only thing that I kind of wish I could have at least tried was, no, I've tried opium. I've tried opium, that's silly. I was instructed from the beginning that like, oh, just do a British accent. And then it was further down the line where Colleen it was just a passing comment she had made to Ian, something about, sometimes I wonder what it would have been like if we could have made him Chinese. And I was like, well, why didn't you ask? Because we totally could have done that, but we didn't. So he was British instead, which felt a little weird, but fine overall. And I sounded wonderful.
You were doing a British accent?
And I was doing a British accent. It was a very subtle one. Yes, very subtle.
Okay, so here's the thing. So we have a few minutes left. We have about, I think, 10 minutes to go. So let's do like lightning questions that we can all answer. Preferably that we can all answer. And we'll try to go as quickly as possible. Yes, so you with the pink collar.
So what's your least favorite ship and the weirdest ship?
Both. The Sale and Sebastian shit has to stop. It's so gross. And let me just speak to it for a moment. It's gross, and what does Sebastian get out of that? Because he's I love you. And Ciel is a fascinating character, and your performance is wonderful. Not relationship material. It's a whiny trust fund brat that can't even tie his own damn shoes.
That's my least favorite one because it's just sad. I think it's just really sad. To me, it's really sad that Ciel, that Sebastian is the only person in the world that Ciel can trust or even remotely kind of love, because his life is so horrible and the world at every turn has proven to him that no one is trustworthy and that nothing matters, and it honestly breaks my heart. But my OTP after watching Book of Atlantic is Ciel and Lizzie.
Well, obviously, Lau and Ran Mao should be shipped to a therapist. That's what should happen.
Okay, you in the second row with the plaid, yes.
Okay. So like.
Next!
You with the red sleeve. Yeah, you just pointed yourself, you, red sleeve.
What did you think of the Black Butler movie, the live action?
I thought it was hilarious.
It was fun and goofy to do.
I thought it was super fun and goofy. Actually, Ian and I watched it in the movie theater before we even knew we were going to dub it, and we were just like passing a flask back and forth. It was awesome.
All right, you remember your question now? All right.
Have you guys read any of the mangas?
No.
No. It's only as actors I don't want to know what's coming because I like to be in the moment, and so when something hits me, I'm really genuinely surprised, and I don't go into it. That's the only reason. I may read it one day once everything is done. I'll like buy the whole set and read it when I'm.
I just don't care.
You.
Me?
Yes.
My question's for Jerry.
Yes.
What was your experience working on Yu Yu Hakusho?
It was completely different from Black Butler, which is why we're here. No, it was great. I loved it. It was cool.
Yes, you, yes.
Weirdest thing you've ever signed?
An old woman's corset who then farted on me. I don't think she meant to, but I was like...
I can't really beat that, but I did sign a Mad Moxie cosplayer's underwear. Not used. Not used. Also lots of boobs.
Tatum and I signed a prosthetic leg once, and you remember that? We were sitting there talking to this guy for like 5 minutes. Seemed like a really cool guy, and just out of nowhere he goes, "Yeah, I used to have people sign my leg, but it's at home." And we're like, he's like, "But I got a new one. Hey, you know what? Screw it. You guys want to sign it?" And we look at each other and we're like, "Yes, yes, we do."
Blonde and white. Yes, yes. Bart.
What would be your character's reaction to being turned into a Neko?
Sebastian would just love it.
I think Ciel would literally just be like...
Will there be catnip involved?
I feel like Lau is already a cat.
Way in the back, I see a black sleeve. Yes, you just pointed yourself, yes.
Funniest bomb you dropped.
Funniest bomb we've dropped in the show? I can't think of...
Mine's in the actual bloopers, where Lizzie's like, "Oh, what can I do to ever repay you?" or whatever. And this is so inappropriate, but you can start with a blowjob for what?
It's not a blooper because it didn't make it in the recording, but once because Ian was really, I'm trying to tell the story as quickly as possible, but Ian was tends to be really focused when he's recording, and the booth is dark, and the director's chair is dark, and he'd be just like so intense, he would never look at you through the glass. So I would joke that I could get away with anything in the glass. I could just be naked, and he would never notice. So I finally decided, well, I should just take my pants off and see if he ever... And I recorded an entire bank of episodes one afternoon with just in my boxers, and Ian never noticed until I left to go to the bathroom. He didn't even notice then. I had to come back. I was in the hallways of Funimation in just my boxers. They were really nice silk boxers, like skull and crossbones. They seemed appropriate. And I was walking down the hallway and I passed by Mike. He's like, "The hell are you doing?" I'm like, "Black Butler." He's like, "I am." And I walk back in and I'm like right near Ian, he's sitting down and so his head is level with my boxer shorts. And he's like, "So Tatum," I thought, "What? Why?" 3 hours I have been like this and you have not seen it. 3 hours, Ian.
I'm completely professional in every way and made no mistakes at all.
I see blonde and black clothes. Gross. I think it's kind of funny, but only because it's like, when I first saw it, I was like, no, I'm out. I'm not doing the show anymore. Oh, thank God, it's not. Okay. Not what I signed up for.
Next,
Next, I'm doing all, yes, you, the gray wig, I think, yes.
Hardest line you had to pull off.
Hardest line I had to pull off.
All of you.
All of us, hardest line. Man.
It was really hard for me to say the name Lloyd. I kept saying Lord.
No.
Lloyd. No, wait, no.
Trying to say
I was saying Lord and I was saying Lloyd.
No, can't even do it now.
I don't know what's happening.
I can't think of any line. Like, Sebastian's lines are actually pretty easy because he's so even-keeled, so I don't think I really had, can't remember one. Nothing stands out. I'm sure I screwed up left and right, but I don't remember.
Doubt it.
I don't think I screwed up that much either. It was, but I know there was like a paragraph talking about some butterflies or something like that. I think I did that. I did half of that twice. So that's like as rough as it got for me.
One day I did go in the booth, and it was an early morning session, and I decided, I'm not gonna eat. There's no time to get breakfast, which is a bad idea. So I went in hungry, and I was trying to record, and like imagine like doing Sebastian's voice, very suave and everything, and in the meantime the mic is picking up this for like forever, and I'm like, sorry, Ian, let me just have some water. Okay, yes, my love. After taking it was like, please go eat a Snickers bar or something. It's like, yes, I should.
Not you when you're hungry.
Not you when you're hungry.
Yes, you with the in there.
Best convention
Oh my God,
experience.
it's Nita Tucker. She's got a little... And everyone cries.
Collaborative work.
Ouch.
What's your question?
Best convention experience.
Best convention experience? This one is pretty cool. But anytime I've gotten to meet like other Seiyu, or Seiyu, the Japanese voices, I have not actually met anyone with whom I've shared a role, but I've got to meet other actors.
And it was dope. I met the other Hell Girl. Which is really cool.
I got to meet Space Dandy.
Wow,
the
okay,
Seiyu.
just show me up, whatever.
Well, no, it was cool. But yeah, so things like that are really, really cool, and just meeting people in general. I love conventions.
It's just cool to get to go to conventions with people like this, because I'm a redhead, so standing in their shadow makes sure that I don't get burnt or anything.
Also because he's a redhead, we don't ever speak to him typically, so this is like the most that we've had a conversation, and I mean it's been years since we had the last convention, so.
No, it's okay. I'm happy to get to do this sort of thing, because who wouldn't be, really? It's a great gig. Get to meet you guys, get to kind of tickle you a little bit, make you giggle, and who's your best audience in this room right now? You are. So no, it's great. It's great.
So we have to go now. We have to stop. But, so we have autographs in like 30 minutes, like more like 25 minutes. So go, and we'll meet you there. And we love you.
Can't do any autographs or anything here.